feel
Mike.
to be throwing last night out there with your teammates?
It felt good. It felt great. I was kind of nervous, though. I ain't gonna lie. Nervous just because, it's been a couple months. But excited, to say the least. But all in all, I felt good.
And Mike Shula said maybe 5 years ago it would have been tough to kind of keep you from doing too much too fast, and he said that's part of like your maturation process. Do you feel that as well, that you're more patient with this and you don't necessarily feel like you have to kind of rush back in this maybe you would have when you were younger?
No, I wouldn't say that. I feel like, where I'm at right now, I don't think it's more so rushing rather than being proactive about it. A young Cam would have, been hurt and ate some gummy bears walking back to the room and would have been good. I would have been good. But now, a couple kids in, man, that you'll start feeling the little throbs and just knowing that, you're not doing your body is justice, knowing that it's a long camp. Knowing that, not only do you have to be the best player for yourself, you have to be the best player for this team and this organization.
Speaking of gummy bears, you obviously trimmed down what's probably the best you've had since your rookie year. What?
You think that?
Yeah, I do. I do. So what did you do to lose the weight? You go on the Tom Brady diet or what?
Nah, I need to go on the Tom Brady record, you know what I'm saying, first. But I just had a realization, with myself this whole off season. I took last year personal. I took it extremely personal, and I knew that, something had to change. And starting with myself, and I feel as if with my impact to that locker room, I wanted people to see, this is just not no other year. I didn't want to speak it. I wanted to action it, if that's even a way of talk. But starting with this off season, some words were said, via coaches, productive words, that football is a sport that people don't realize that it's a 12-month sport. And another annotation to the younger self. I probably would have took a lot of time off, and then the 1 month to get prepared. That's when everybody pretty much crams in working out. Well, I did it differently. I just kept the pressure on. I had a lot of time on my hand in February, so I figured starting from February on, I just keep the pedal down, and knowing that via social media, all the football players will start showing videos and pictures of things that they've been doing. But I've been having this mentality ever since our last game in Tampa.
Why do you think you took last year personally, perhaps more so than others?
I need not speak on what's already understood, but I just know for my career, I can't let that happen again, ever. So.
Mike Shula said last night that, no disrespect to you at all, that 5 years ago you probably would not have been this proactive and patient in terms of your rehabilitation process. Is that accurate, and why do you think?
Yeah, I say it's true. Because I'm all about growth. And I wouldn't say growth necessarily, bodily more than mentally. I feel as if that I need to grow mentally, and I think I've made the proper steps moving forward. I still need to grow some more. But knowing that, all in all, I just feel that, me being patient and me being proactive is the way to go. Not saying that anything is being lesser of a priority. I just know what the plan is or the blueprint, and I'm just sticking to it.
Can you talk about the new weapons you've got this year, and on the offensive side of the ball, you've had some new toys to play with now?
Well, what else needs to be said about? I think we've all been waiting for C-Mac to step on the field, as well as Kirko. But I'm really excited about the whole gamut of this rookie class. And the reason I say that is, after a week of the whole group, back in even OTAs, you can kind of get like a sense of, what type of group is this? Is this a childish group? Is this a group that, feels that they're entitled? But for me, I kind of got a good vibe from them. You see the, well, pardon my nicknames, but Krugers of the world. Fred Ross, Groundhog, Austin Duke. These guys are coming in, man, and not being conformed to their draft picks, so to speak. Making big plays early for us, and Benji said it best yesterday for the whole offense. It's just time for us to be consistent. Everybody's excited to go to practice in front of all those fans last night. But the moral of our story is going to be, what about after the first week, when your family is about to come that next day. Not that practice because you got your kids there. What about the practice before, the practice after? Are you going to still bring that same mentality? And it's up to the veteran leadership on this team to keep everybody steadfast and held to that standard.
Cam, you said that you sort of have a different understanding at this point in your career in terms of listening to your body and the bumps and bruises. With that said, do you sort of welcome this idea that we've heard about since the end of last season, that the offense is going to be tweaked somehow to get the ball out of your hands a little faster and to feature less running by you?
I hear that, but I just want to win football games. I don't care what they do, and they, as in coaches. I've never questioned in coaching. I've never questioned any type of upper management. I just want to win football games.
Cam, you said at that Tampa game last year that you weren't having fun, or at least you hadn't had fun, and I assume that was just the losing part of things. So how do you balance having a lot of fun, because that's part of your personality, versus this sort of older, wiser approach?
No, I wouldn't say that. I was hurt. You know what I'm saying? I was hurt, and I didn't want to be a distraction. I didn't want, not that I care what people think, but I just couldn't come to grips with knowing that, were we going to the playoffs? No. But that was my playoff game. And I could have easily just tapped ahead and said, you know what, RV, I don't want to play this game. And I could have had a very well good excuse. But I couldn't look at TD the same. I couldn't look at Ryan or Khalil or even the guys that we had on our team the same, because I want them to know if anybody's going to leave it all out there on the field, it's going to be me, regardless of what type of football game it is. It's a football game that I can potentially leave my mark on in any given game, preseason or ever. I'm playing to win this game. And, that was the main reason why the fun was not where it needed to be. I was not healthy. I wouldn't say the training staff, did a terrible job, because they did an unbelievable job. They did a great job with protecting me, having a number count, pitch count in practice, but we still didn't know. I just knew my shoulder was hurting, and it wasn't, at its optimum peak. So, after that game, or even even before those last couple of games, I knew something was wrong, but I just didn't want to, bring it to people's attention, because I didn't want that to be a distraction, knowing, amongst other things that we had going on.
Yeah, when you work, you likes to play the underdog role, which is always kind of embrace that with his teams. Is there part of you that kind of likes the fact that there are people who maybe on the outside doubt this team, or question it, or don't view it as highly as maybe they had in years past, and you guys are kind of playing an underdog role again?
I don't understand what they see. We all undefeated right now, so that's meaningless. That's just irrelevant off-season talk. I can tell you one thing. You go in that cafeteria right now or even in that locker room, we're not looking for no handouts. You know, we're not looking for somebody to pick us. We doggone not, you know, expecting nothing from anybody that we don't already expect. Our mentality is to get back to having that edge, you know, so, and that's what we're all about.
How humbling was last year?
Humbling? You know, extremely. But I'm not going to dwell on, you know, last year. It is what it is. I've came to crossroads with it, and that crossroad is in the past. But now I'm looking forward to, you know, what the future allows, and before that, I'm trying to maximize each and every opportunity that I get in each and every day.
Ron said that he wants to see this offense evolve. And what is your understanding of what they mean about that? I mean, this year with some of the guys they brought in, what is your understanding that they want this to evolve, and how does that change what you're going to do?
We need to score points, a lot of points. Simple.
Do you expect to run as much as you have in the past, Cam? Because that's what we've heard a lot about, just to preserve the wear and tear.
Yeah, I don't understand certain things. Like, that's my edge, you know. You gonna expect the lion not to roar? Like, you got to really ask yourself that. Like, I couldn't imagine, you know, talking to Brady or talking to Aaron or talking to even Matt Ryan or Breeze and say, hey, you gonna stay in the pocket all day like that? Like, that's where you feel comfortable at. I think in my career, over the whole body of work, the things that has put me at an advantage most times is having that ability to run. I'm just going to take what the defense gives me. Yeah, do I have weapons? Absolutely. But it's still going to be on, you know, on me and in me to focus on getting those different outlets the ball the right time and knowing that. But as far as designing call runs, I could care less. I just want to, you know, I want to win in the worst way, straight up. I mean, we owe it to our fans, man. We owe it to ourselves. We owe it to our overall process. You know what I'm saying? It's just like for us, you know, knowing everything that we've been through and everything that we're going through right now, you know, we busting our tails, you know, in hopes of, you know, that it pays off.
Is this the best shape you've been in coming into a training camp?
I don't know. I mean, and that's irrelevant. You know, shape as a quarterback is because I've seen some bad built quarterbacks.
Cam, when you weren't throwing in OTs and mini camps, you were still very involved in talking with the defense. Like, how important was it for you to maintain that connection and kind of remind them that you're still there, I guess?
Well, if they didn't hear me then, they damn sure gonna hear me now. Let's just say that. Like, I'm excited, man. I just want that. I want my energy to be vibrant. I want people to see it. I want people to, I want it to be contagious, offensively and defensively. Like gone are the days of, well, that's not quarterback like. You know, I got a lot of words to say to that, man. I'm just trying to, basically get my swag back, get our swag back, and just have fun. You know, I don't think people or you guys, want to see a practice go, as nobody's talking. I'm not saying that that's my job or my role. My job is to get my guys going, and before I get those guys going, I got to get myself going. And you can best believe that I will be pumped and ready to go.
You talked about the younger guys earlier. What's it mean having Peppers and Captain and those guys back to the team now?
Man, that's big. That's really monumental for this whole organization as a whole. Seeing Pep back, probably the biggest human being I've probably seen in my life on the football field. Just pound for pound. And Cap is probably the smallest human being I've seen. I'm just teasing. But I mean, they bring a aspect to this team that we've had in past, but right now is when we need it the most. Having people that are drafted Panthers that are core guys and gets the whole gist of what this organization is all about.
How are you doing as the father of two? You mentioned that earlier. Congratulations.
Father of three.
Oh, excuse me.
Father of three.
Well, how
You know,
about that
because
go?
I only can imagine. Well, Shakira hear that, boy. Well, yeah. She's everybody's great, man. Everybody's great. You know, it's different. It's different and going and talking about it. But man, they give me a lot more purpose. You know, as the fathers, you know, that are watching this, you know, you only can imagine. You know love, you know, for the people who are married, that got girlfriends or whatever. But when you start having kids, yeah, that's real love. That's something that, man, when I'm tired, I still got to do, you know, and do it proudly too.
Cam, can you tell us a little bit more about that Baltimore trip that you guys took?
It was amazing. A lot of hard work.
When Ron said that you needed to gain your confidence back this year, can you explain how you took that?
He didn't tell me that. He probably told y'all that. He didn't tell me that.
Cam Thomas yesterday said that new CTE study kind of was, he used the word alarming. Your thoughts as you saw that the number of 110 out of 111 former players found with CTE?
No disrespect. Has nothing to do with me at this particular point. I got my plate full of other things that I need to focus on and I want to focus on, and that's just how I feel.
How does being lighter change your game up there? Do you feel faster? You take the same down there?
I don't know. As long as I'm faster than TD, I think I'll be good. And you know, as each year goes by, I feel like Luke is slowly but surely getting into that, you know, must talk crap to list of my to-do list every day in practice. Because, you know, Luke to y'all, you know, he's like the golden boy. He's Captain America, you know, alongside with TD, the Charlotte Mayor, and oh my God, you know, Mr. Panther, da 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 da. But those guys, they're not as good as you think they are inside. And you know, I'm okay with that. I like that, you know. And I look forward to it. I mean, you know, when we practice at 3 o'clock, I'll be ready to go. Damn.
What does Luke say back to you, though?
Luke?
Yeah. Did you talk less?
Does he talk? Let's just say it's not, you know, words adequate for a children's book.